So I bought this rabbit at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to rewrap it in nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. I bought burlap ribbon and I made a bow out of it, and I have these floral arrangements I picked up there, but I ended up not using that. So the first thing I'm going to do is make an incision in, well, take off the bow, and then I'll make an incision in the garland, and that way I can unwrap it from the form, because I just want the form. I'm going to throw out the white garland. So once I make the incision, I can begin unwrapping it from the form. This did take some time to come apart, but once I got it going, it was fine. The thing that took the longest time was putting the nautical rope, all wrapping it all around. That took some time. So this was definitely not a quick DIY. This did take me some time. But when I was finished, this is what I got. And it's cute and perfect to wrap the twine around it. So I started off with adding some hot glue and the rope. And then I was just attaching it to get started. So once I got it attached, I was able to then start twisting it around. I just had to keep turning the rope in and around the form. And the hardest part was the beginning, getting it started, but once you started, it was just time consuming, but it wasn't that difficult to do. Okay, so what I decided to do with the ears was to use some pink twine that I had, and I just kept wrapping it around and around until I filled in all the space with the pink twine. And then I just glued the end piece down to finish it off. So once that cooled, it held it down. And then I did put more of the rope around the ears. I felt like it just needed that to cover up the edges that was still peeking through. So I just hot glued down a piece of the rope, and I followed it around the form of the bunny ears. So that's the completed look, all wrapped up. And like I said, I did take quite some time. I'm going to add the bow to the top. So now you have to like decorate it to cover the imperfections that are made with the rope, spaces that I couldn't fill in, things with maybe a little extra hot glue on them. So I just hot glued this bow to the top between the ears because there was a space in there that this covered nicely. So I placed that on there, pressed it down, and it covered up the hole perfectly. So there's a space between the two circles where I needed to fill in. So I decided to use these paper flowers that I purchased at Michael's. They came in a pack. There was a bunch of them, and I thought that they would look cute right there. So I just hot glued those down to cover the space in between the two circles. And this did a great job covering them. So I wanted to add a little something to the bow, and I had a cute little matching flower that matched what was on the neckline. So I just hot glued it to the center of the bow to make it a little more fancy. So I flipped the rabbit over, and I am going to cut a piece of twine to be the loop I use to hang the rabbit from. So I just loop it through. I tie a knot, and then to secure it, I am going to hot glue the twine to the lower part of the rope. That way it doesn't move around too much. So I just add some hot glue, and that secures the piece of twine to the rabbit. And here it is. That is the finished piece, and I am very happy with it. It definitely took some time, but it came out adorable. So I did add those Dollar Tree carrots to the bottom of my bunny because I did have a lump, and this covered them perfectly. And that's the thing about crafting. It's not always perfect, but you find ways to embellish your design to make them look like they are. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in seeing more videos from me, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you next time for more Farmhouse DIYs. Bye-bye.